everybody, and welcome to QBL semifinals action live from Townsville 106.3 FM Stadium as Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia present to you a tremendous matchup between the Townsville Heat and the Cairns Marlins. I'm John Guarna. Tonight I'm joined by Dave Derwin. Dave, both these teams came in to this matchup off of big wins last weekend. It was Cairns getting the win over the USC Rip. Great performance by the Marlins heading into the semifinals.
Yeah, well, they're certainly hitting form at the right time of the year again, just like last year. So I'm sure all those Cairns fans are out there hoping that it's a bit of a round two for them with regard to championship success. And equally, Townsville had a good win against the Pirates up here. I say good because every win is a win, and they did enough early to have a good lead, and they held on despite the Pirates' big comeback.
Yeah, it was a huge win for the Townsville Heat over the Pirates last weekend. Pirates nearly came back and stole it. They tied it up with 90 seconds to go. Townsville, though, just had enough to get in, and now they're hosting a semifinal with a grand final spot on the line. Dave, these two teams met twice so far this season. The first matchup was in round one. That was a Cairns win, and it's a different-looking Cairns Marlins from round one to this semifinals matchup.
Yeah, equally, they're missing a few guys as they exchange some of their players throughout the season, which was always the plan. But again, had a big win early on in round one. Round one means nothing now. They met just recently, about a month ago, and Townsville had their revenge on them. So, Townsville will certainly feel at home today that they're comfortable. They had a good win last week against the Pirates. Hopefully they learn from that almost collapse, and they're certainly really confident, I think, to get to the big dance next week.
Yeah, and Townsville got that second win, like you said, in that second matchup, both on the home court. And Townsville is home this evening. How much does that play into the hands of the Townsville Heat?
Well, I think certainly home games are important, but often teams can bandy together well on the road as well. And this Cairns group has a lot of NBL quality, so I don't think they're too intimidated by whatever Townsville throws at them today. As far as the crowd, it's just always nice to have a bit of home cooking coming into a game. But equally, it doesn't matter. I mean, they came down last year and won the grand final in Brisbane, so it's not like this team isn't ready to go and focused.
And what are your keys to the game for the Townsville Heat? They'd come in with a bit of confidence playing on their home court. They were challenged right to the very end last weekend. Sometimes that's a good thing. Townsville's playing with confidence, though. They're really confident they're going to get to the grand final. What are the keys to the game for the Heat versus the Marlins tonight?
Well, before I get to the keys to the game, Johnny, an interesting stat is that both teams plus minus. So both teams were the third and fourth best defensive teams throughout the season, and their offensive minus defensive scores are literally identical. So it's really even closer than what anyone thinks here in the semifinal. It really can go both ways, which is setting up a tremendous game. Tonight, I think the Cairns, they need to protect the paint. I think Townsville has an advantage with their size, and so Cairns need to protect the paint. The Townsville got bigs, shoot a great clip. You got Reese and Baker and co are shooting tremendous field goal percentage, so they need to try and make that a little bit harder for them tonight. And also for Cairns, I'd like to see the ball movement. They've got such good guards, and they're generally quite disciplined in their offense that they need to move the ball, share the love, and get guys with the likes of Hire, Weeks, Fisher, Way and co touches so that they're all in the game.
So, Dave, I always put you on the spot. We talked about it off air. I want you to tell everyone and all the viewers who are checking in, what's your prediction for this matchup tonight?
Well, is that enough of a pause? Well, I think I didn't pick last week successfully. I told you Brisbane would in a close one. I was right in the close bit, but Rocky stole the win. I think my gut's telling me Cairns guards and guard play is the strength. And so as long as they can compete, rebound, I think they have a slight edge. But equally, talking to Josh Spears before the game, they're certainly capable with the likes of Anderson and Baker and Crawford and Wiltshire. So I think it's going to be a tremendous game. And like anything, when it matters, it's the teams who can get consecutive defensive stops when it matters, and equally teams who can execute offensively.
Well, we're going to get set for the tip here. And we see Cairns out on the court. They're starting with Damon Hire, Stephen Way, Kwani, Jared Weeks, and Tevin Jackson. Townsville is going to respond with Jamel Anderson, Josh Wiltshire, Matt Reese, Peter Crawford, and Justin Baker. So right away, this is a rivalry game, Dave. It doesn't get much bigger than this with a spot on the grand finals on the line between Townsville and Cairns. You see Reese and Jackson getting set for the tip. Some interesting matchups, Dave. One key player we want to keep an eye on is that Jamel Anderson. He's a key player for Townsville. He's got to have a big game tonight if Townsville wants to come out with the win.
Yeah, we talked a little bit before in the pregame too. I think defensively, he's a really good defender. What I think we need more of is offensively from him.
Well, you see Anderson gets a steal. It was a bad LEU play there from Weeks to Higher. Higher can get higher than most out on the court at the moment.
Yeah, they certainly got great athleticism with Weeks and Higher.
And you see
just a sloppy post entry from Baker with a simple turnover. And again, that's what they need to avoid tonight.
Well, you see they're trying to get the ball inside right away, which is always a good sign for Townsville. You mentioned it. You think that that's a strength of theirs, and they can take advantage of it tonight. Cairns goes inside to Weeks. He misses. Baker comes down with a defensive rebound. You don't mind that from Cairns, though, either. Weeks likes his matchup inside with Wilcher.
Well, he does, and he's certainly more athletic than Wilcher. Baker with a good help D, got a good hand up.
And Baker's fouled on his way to the bucket. That's a tough matchup for Stephen Way. But Baker can shoot the ball. He can put it on the deck. And he can post as well. So it's going to be a tough assignment for Stephen Way. Justin Baker is going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots. An opportunity for the first points of the evening.
Yeah, we talked a little bit too before the game where, you know, so goes Wilcher and Baker, so go the Heat. And so I think Baker's really going to have a big game if they're going to put Cairns under pressure.
Baker hits the first one. Baker had that big game in the round 10 win over Cairns. He had 25 points and 13 rebounds. If he could duplicate that, it could be a good night for Townsville. He hits them both, so it's a 2-0 lead early for Townsville over Cairns. Tevin Jackson guarded by Baker on the other end. There's Kwani. Skips it out. Good ball movement here from the Marlins. Jackson jump stop, left-handed hook shot.
Oh,
falls off the rim.
Great move.
It's a great move there from Tevin Jackson.
And you don't mind that. Yeah, you don't mind that. I mean, offensively, good spacing from the Marlins early. Shifted the ball, and Jackson with a nice offensive move.
And then Crawford hits it on the other end. His jump shot is true. So 4-0 lead here for Townsville. About a minute and a half into the game, and then there's a turnover for Cairns. Are you surprised to see Weeks running the show at the moment for Cairns?
Well, I think you know, you can play higher at the 2, and that you're not going to lose anything. So I'm not super surprised. I like the Townsville bench energy. They think they're auditioning for a NCAA or something, Johnny.
They want to be the bench mob from Monmouth University. Baker's wing 3 is too strong. Offensive rebound, though, Jamel Anderson. Crawford goes inside. Gonna reset here with Wilcher. 6 on the shot clock. Wilcher's gonna fire his wing 3. That rattles home. And it's a 7-0 lead to start here for Townsville over Cairns.
Well, that, you know, tough shot from Wilcher, Johnny, but poor D from Jackson. I mean, he just let him shoot the ball. Sort of gave it to him.
Higher missed the 3. Way got the offensive rebound.
And I mean, that's just not how you need to defend, you know, one of the MVP candidates of the season.
Stevie Way is fouled on his way to the bucket, so he's going to get a shot for an opportunity for 2 shots at the free throw line. Crowd was looking for the travel call. Referee saw it differently.
Pumped up the aircon in here, Johnny, have they?
Yeah, it feels nice. It was quite warm when we got off the plane this afternoon. Bit of a shock to the system for me. Way gets the Marlins on the board. First points of the night. Way hits them both. So 7-2 the lead here now for Townsville. That's 7:40 to go in the first quarter. Pass is stolen by Kwani. He's come in and made a difference since joining the Marlins. Dave, one thing we didn't mention in the pregame is quite a few of these Marlins guys were in action last night versus the University of Texas. Weeks dumps it off. Way, hook shot is good.
Yeah, great pass from Weeks. Yeah, they did play a bit, Johnny. That's okay, though. I mean, like we talked a little bit about, you know, 3 or 4 of these guys for the Marlins are in the NBL program, and so probably a good head out for him, really.
How tough is it to back up after a big matchup the night before, though, and play again the next day?
Well, I think they all played, but equally, it wasn't like today where it really matters. It's more of an entertainment / exhibition game last night, so.
Ball's tipped out of bounds off the hands of Townsville. So Cairns has an opportunity to tie with a three-pointer here. Higher looking for Tevin Jackson. He's got to catch it outside the three-point arc. Drives baseline, he's double teamed, gets around it. Reverse layup is good. That's a tough bucket there from Tevin Jackson.
Yeah, really nice move. Great hesitation, dribble. And he froze Baker and then continued baseline where there was no help.
There's Reese on the block working against Tevin Jackson. Now out to Wilcher, three-pointer is up, and that's good from Josh Wilcher. He's capable of getting hot quick, Dave. Kwani missed the jump shot, went out of bounds off of Townsville, so it's gonna stay with Cairns. Anthony Fisher checks in. Fisher is a guy that we really like for Cairns.
Absolutely, he's your Swiss Army knife. Does whatever they need him to do. And again, just really good veteran experience. As Steve Way shoots top of the key, misses the three.
Baker comes down with it.
No one on the glass though for the Cairns type, for the Marlins, sorry, Johnny.
Now you don't mind that from Way. He's certainly capable of hitting the three-pointer. Baker has it stripped. The crowd wanted the foul call. Referees let it go. It's going to stay with Townsville, though, with 13 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Yeah, I think that was a good no call.
Wilcher has it now over to Anderson. Takes a few dribbles, goes inside to Reese with 5 on the shot clock. They're going to get a 3-second call there against Justin Baker, so that's a turnover for Townsville.
Coach Anderson doing his best stare down. Unhappy with a few of the early refereeing decisions.
And Coach Anderson isn't afraid of getting a technical or two here and there. Good hands there by Wilcher. He comes up with the steal. He's going right at the defense. Layup is good by Josh Wilcher. He started out on fire here so far for Townsville, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. Leading the heat, absolutely at the moment. Fisher with a nice finish and one.
That's a tough bucket there from Fisher with the left hand,
I don't know
plus
if that's
the foul. That was a foul there on Stephen Way, pushing in the back. That's going to be Way's second personal foul.
I thought it was going to be PC, so equally big call either way.
2 team fouls apiece. 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
Gotta love the regional crowd, about 1,000 people here, Johnny.
Matt Mulligan checked in for Way. A little more size on the court for Cairns with Mulligan on the floor. Baker has it with 8 on the shot clock. PC goes inside. Anderson fouled from behind by Tevin Jackson. That's good ball movement and a great look there from Peter Crawford.
Yeah, probably a bad call too. Looked like a whole lot of ball from up here, Johnny.
Well, we did have a pretty good view of it. It's going to send.
But that's life. Move on.
Anderson's going to get to the free throw line now for 2 shots with his team up by 4. It's the first. Dave, we do like Jamel Anderson. He's a really versatile player. He struggled a bit offensively, though, for Townsville this season. If he could step up his offensive production, that's just the 3rd, 4th, 5th weapon for Townsville.
No, I completely agree. I think he's renowned for his defense. You know what you're going to get, which is great effort and execution. But offensively, I'm the same, Johnny. I think you need a bit more than, I think it's 7.5 points a game. 12 points a game, 5 rebounds. I think he's certainly capable of a bit more production.
Wilcher missed the tough jump shot. Probably not a great one, but he was feeling it, so you live by that one. Crawford comes up with the steal, kicks ahead for Wilcher. Left-handed layup is good. And it looks like there's going to be a timeout taken on the floor, Dave. Good timeout there by Coach Perlman. His team is down by 7, 4:15 to go in the game. What do you like so far in the first 5 minutes, 45 seconds of action here in your QBL semifinal?
Well, defensively, I really like Townsville's effort and energy at the moment. They're up in lanes. They're not necessarily playing that pack D. It's a little bit more denial, turning up the heat, which has forced Cairns a couple extra passes they didn't really want to have. You know, Jackson was just sloppy with the pill there in transition. There was nothing really on, and he wanted to try and split two guys and an easy bucket the other way. So Townsville certainly in control early.
Townsville doing a good job. I think Wiltshire really setting the tone for Townsville here so far this evening.
Yeah.
Really, and that's one of the things that we talked about off air. You want to see Wiltshire really step up. When he has a big game, Townsville usually wins.
Yeah, I think the stat was if he scores 20, more than 20, they're 5-0 or something like that, Johnny. But equally, we talked a little bit about early on around sharing the ball for Cairns and ball movement, and this is what happens equally when it's a team by committee. So who for the Marlins is going to step up and try and score? I mean, early on, only got 8 points in the first 6 minutes of game time and a few turnovers.
Yeah, and you expect a little bit more out of the Marlins here from a production standpoint. But again, do you think anything that has anything to do with them playing last night?
No, not at all. And again, I like Townsville's energy defensively, but still there's plenty of gaps as K squared shoots one, misses one.
Kwani missed the jump shot. Now Townsville has an opportunity to increase the lead. They're under 4 to go in the first quarter. It's a 7-point lead.
Sorry, John. I just don't know if that's the set that Coach Perlman wants. KK just shooting one after 1 or 2 passes out of a timeout.
Keegan Tudhup's going to fire a three-pointer. He was open, tipped around, out of bounds, off the hands of Townsville.
Good box out from Damien Heyer.
Heyer was battling Jamel Anderson for that rebound.
Well, he's been a little bit quiet early on, and I think that's, you know, as Heyer goes, as the Marlins go, and again, 23 points a game for him. He's been equally one of the MVP candidates of the season, and that's where I think he needs to step up and demand the ball a bit more here.
Heyer has it now with 10 on the shot clock. Gets in the paint. Pass is stolen, though, by Anderson. Really good defensive energy from Townsville, but really careless play. They're not taking care of the ball, the Marlins. Anderson, aggressive, lays it in. The lead is now up 9.
Yeah, 2 great hesitation moves early from Jackson and then one from Anderson. Pretty to watch.
Anderson doing a good job on Heyer. He's got the Damon Heyer assignment. Fisher comes off the screen. He's double teamed. Gets it over to Kwani, who loses it now to Baker.
Really sloppy early on from Cairns. I don't have the stats, but I'm going to say 5 or 6 early turnovers.
Wiltshire takes a spill, somehow recovers, gets it out to Baker. Baker throws up the hook shot, can't get it to fall. I think Townsville doing a really good job controlling the tempo as well. They're playing at their pace, doing a good job not leaking those transition buckets we saw a few weeks ago against Brisbane.
Yeah, and there's Heyer to the rim.
Good job creating the contact there from Heyer.
They need more of that. You know, I want to see him be a bit more aggressive here. Too many times he's come off early, looking to get others involved. Weeks checks in too. Weeks had a really good start. Same thing if I'm Perlman, I want to see Weeks and Heyer getting literally every scoring opportunity here for the next few minutes, Johnny.
Heyer at the free throw line, missed the first one. Townsville crowd loves it. Second one is good, though. Cuts the lead to 8. Tudhope bringing the ball up court. Breaks a bit of pressure there from Cairns. Here's that 3-guard attack from Coach Perlman. Wiltshire loses it. Weeks comes up with it. Looking to attack the glass, gets to the bucket. Layup is no good, but he's fouled there by Keegan Tudhope with the body. Good aggressive play there by Weeks. He's a terror in transition.
Yeah, he's super fast. with the ball in his hand, really explosive athlete. And that's what they need to do a better job, Johnny, down the other end, of creating some turnovers and just not letting Wiltshire run around and hang out just like it's his own backyard. It might be his backyard, but Cairns have got to do something to disrupt him tonight.
And I like what Coach Jamie Perlman's done here. He's inserted Farmer. So he's going with a small lineup, almost a 4-guard lineup here to counter that size from Townsville. We see Spears on the court for the first time this evening for Townsville. 1 of 2 for Weeks. Lead is 7 now for Townsville. We're under 2 to go in the first quarter.
Well, my eye wasn't as good as the stats, Johnny. 7 turnovers early on the first quarter.
That's not going to cut it for Cairns if they want to come into Townsville and get the win. Good job by Wiltshire using the pump fake. Nearly loses it. He does.
Yeah, good D again. Much better job of really jamming him off that pick and roll action.
Now Tevin Jackson skips it. They work it around to Hire. Gets in the paint.
Nice.
That's just a really nice hesitation there from Hire. There was definite contact. Anderson's picking up the foul. I think that's his second personal. It's the 4th team foul, so it's going to be a sideline out of bounds for Cairns. Fisher is going to fire the wing 3. That's too strong. Crawford skies for the rebound. Good pass inside. Baker nearly lost it, using the body to get to the bucket and lay it in. Great recovery there by Baker and finishing strong.
Yeah, and Jackson's got to do a better job of that.
Fisher from the exact spot he missed the second time. It's tipped around. Hire lost it on the way up, but they're going to get Keegan Tudhope for another foul. That's going to put Townsville in the penalty. And Hire's going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Reese going to check back in. You got to think, thought it was going to be for Tudhope, but it's going to be for Baker.
Yeah, good job of Hire again, creating some opportunities, Johnny. Hitting the glass hard. Fisher with a couple of good looks.
Fisher was tremendous, I thought, in the grand final series last year versus Brisbane.
Yeah.
He was one of those unsung guys. Everyone was talking about Hire, rightfully so, but Fisher had a tremendous grand final series.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell you what also, Johnny, this early on in this first quarter, I'm just not liking a lot of the whinging here from the Townsville boys. You know, they're questioning a lot of calls and they're up in the referee's grill, just wasting a lot of energy. They need to focus on what they need to worry on instead of worrying about are they getting a fair run of the calls.
Tevin Jackson turned it over. Wiltshire streaking to the basket. Reverse layup is good. What a pretty bucket there from Wiltshire, and then they nearly come up with another steal. They do, and I think they're going to get Cairns for the turnover there.
Yeah, Farmer hit the back of the backboard.
Good 2 rush there from Farmer, so Townsville can hold for the final shot with 15 seconds to go in the quarter. Good substitution here from Coach Anderson, getting Baker in for the offensive set, giving Keegan Tudhope a breather. Farmer going to get a breather as well.
Well, big opportunity here. If the Heat can get a bucket, that'll really hurt.
Wiltshire works it around to Crawford. He's going to fire a wing 3. It was a great look. Can't finish. Hire recovers. Flips one up. It was nearly good, but that's going to be the end of the quarter. And Townsville Heat going to lead the Cairns Marlins heading into the break up by 9, 21-12, Dave. Quick thoughts on that first quarter of action.
Well, I think Townsville are where they deserve to be, which is they're in control, and they've done a good job so far in this opening quarter. Equally, though, you know, get off the referees. Just play. It's pretty simple. And they don't want to grind on the referees, because when you really want to complain about a call, when you've complained the whole 3 quarters of the game, then the referees go, I'm sick of hearing it. So, you know, there's a bit of science in there as well. and they just need to focus on what they got to focus on.
All right, well, it's at the end of the quarter. We'll take a quick break. 21-12 the lead for Townsville over Cairns. The QBL semifinal presented to you by Live Sport Australia and Nothing But Net Media. Welcome back to your QBL semifinal matchup between the Townsville Heat and the Cairns Marlins from Townsville 106.3 FM Stadium. Dave, looking at the first quarter stats, what's jumping out at you?
Well, only 11 shots, Johnny, for the Marlins. 3 of 11, 27% from the field goal. They haven't seen the ball go through the hole too many times, and what's helped them is the 8 free throws they've shot. So they're hanging around. They haven't had a great start. I think Townsville defensively has been really good, and so they've sort of, you know, they'll just weather the storm, and I think they'll get into the groove. But equally, they need to get some better offensive production from their guys. 9 turnovers in the first quarter is a killer. They really need a 1 or 2 turnover quarter in order to get it done and get a bit more confidence leading the second half.
Yeah, Townsville would be pretty happy with that first quarter. I don't know if it could get much worse for Cairns, to be honest with you. Only scoring 12 points and those turnovers really hurt. They didn't seem to get into any rhythm.
No.
Good job defensively, though, by Townsville in that first quarter, so credit to them.
Yeah, really lifting the energy up and in defensively, denying.
Baker skips it to Wilcher. He can't handle the pass. It's out of bounds. So probably not the way you want to start the second quarter if you're Townsville.
Yeah, and I noticed immediately an improved effort and commitment on the defensive end from the Marlins.
So Heyer has it on the left wing. He's double teamed. He's probing. Mulligan over now into the corner for Fisher. He's got 6 on the shot clock. Mulligan has it on the block. Working against Baker. Step back jump shot short. Good defense there by Baker.
Well, he had him with a bit of a power move. He needed to keep on going at him.
Don't like the fadeaway?
Nah.
Wilcher, wing 3. It's up. It's short. Good defensive rebound there by Heyer. He's going to bring the ball up court for Cairns.
And again, a better hand on Wilcher than from Weeks.
Fisher from the corner. Misses it. They're going to get Mulligan, I think, for a defensive foul there. Yeah, it's going to go against Mulligan on the box out. Spears checking out. McCauley's going to check in for Townsville for the first time this evening. McCauley going to run the show a bit. They're putting Wilcher off the ball. McCauley immediately loses his footing. Fighting for the ball with Weeks. It's a tie-up. Possession arrow favors Cairns, so good hustle there by Weeks. Coach Proman likes it.
Weeks has been fantastic to start this game.
Not what you want to do your first play on the court for the big semifinal from McCauley either. Weeks has it guarded by McCauley. Shakes him a bit. Now recovers on the left wing. Good fake there by Weeks. Can't kiss it home, and Crawford comes down with the defensive rebound. Seeing Aaron Bintahal on the court for the first time for Cairns. Wilcher gets around the defense and lays it in. Wilcher, Dave, is cooking.
Yeah, he's doing his best Isaiah Thomas impersonation at the moment and has done all season long. And that's what I like about Bintahal, where he brings a little bit of energy.
Good defensive rebound there from Crawford as well.
Interesting to see how long Coach Perlman sits. That's it.
You wanted the end one there, Dave. There's a bit of contact.
Yeah. Well, they let him go on the block that I missed, but he certainly missed a foul then, that's for sure. Yeah, sorry, Johnny. It's interesting to see how long they keep Way on the bench, because I think they really need his offense.
And just as you say, Stevie Way gets off the bench as Weeks fires a
There you
three.
go.
That's a big bucket there for Cairns. They needed that one in the worst way.
They really needed that one.
It's the first points of the quarter, 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Baker driving baselines, fouled there by Mulligan.
That's 3, right?
You think so.
I think it's 3 on Mulligan.
See what the score bench says. Way is going to check in for Mulligan. I didn't get to see how many personals it was.
Yeah, we're above
2.
2.
Wiltshire going to get his first breather of the evening as well. Reese has it out to Anderson. Three-pointer is short. So Anderson working before the game on a three-point shot. He's yet to find it so far tonight.
Yeah, and if I'm Cairns, that's okay. As far as who's going to beat me, then that's what you're going to let.
Well, what's going to beat them is turnovers, as Anderson can't finish the layup attempt, and Way saves it off the front of the rim.
Yeah, great job from Way. Great hustle and didn't give up on the play.
Anderson was expecting the contact, didn't get it. Bintahal running the show for Cairns. Looking to work against Anderson, hands off for Jackson. Now Weeks, baseline 3 is off.
Yeah, offensively, Cairns haven't been too crisp tonight, have they, Johnny?
A lot of it's outside, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah.
A lot of jump shots. Weeks doing a good job defensively, though, against McCauley.
Well, they had the 8 free throws, but just offensively, they're really struggling. Their space, and they really lack.
Another turnover from Cairns. It's really, really hurting the Marlins. It's not enabling them to get into any flow offensively. And then when they do hold on to it, they're rushing shots. They're really focusing on really taking care of the ball. I think that's what's causing them to turn it over, Dave.
Yeah, they're just in a bit of a funk at the moment, and they're going to get through it exactly like Weeks and Hire are doing, which is turning up the D and try and get some stops. Great pass, Crawford.
Reese with the left hand is good.
That's exactly what Cairns aren't doing.
Give us a bit more with that, Dave. What aren't they doing?
Just in that simple pick and roll, which is exactly what it was. Slipped the screen, Reese rolled to the rim, and Crawford found him. Just really simple. Whereas at the moment, with this pretty much a 5-guard lineup from the Cairns team, they're all trying to be the guard.
How about Keegan Tudhoe putting it on the deck and getting to the rack to lay it in? Good contributions from the bench here for Townsville so far. They're up 12. About 5 minutes to go in the first half. There's Way getting inside, too strong. Gets his own rebound. Left hand this time is good.
And again, just a simple cut into the middle. You could see how easy it was, Johnny. They didn't do a great deal, but all it was a nice cut from Way, who created and High hit him on a simple high post entry.
Crawford from the left side shoots an air ball. He wanted the foul call. Referees let it go. .5:03 to go in the first half. Checking into the game for Cairns, that's Ryan Reynolds.
Not Ryan Reynolds. Just want to be clear, Johnny.
Good defense from Townsville. They're really keeping Cairns to the perimeter. Ways deep, three-pointer is good. That's their first one tonight.
Yeah, for all those Marlins fans, that's what you want. You want to see Way being aggressive and heating up a little bit, because they certainly need his production and leadership tonight. Reynolds with a good steal.
Higher hands off for Weeks in the corner. Way.
Get hot. Steve Way, no.
Too short. Somehow Higher recovers it as Crawford lost the ball.
Well, I think
Way from the top of the key now for three. That's good.
They need a timeout, because the last minute or so, Townsville's energy that was great in the first 1.5 quarters has really gone down a level, and it shows. Lazy rebounding, lazy defense, and so a good timeout for Coach Anderson to have a little talk about things.
Great timeout. We'll take one as well. It's 29-25 with about 4 minutes to go in the first half. this QBL semifinal between the Townsville Heat and the Cairns Marlins, presented to you by Live Sport Australia and Nothing But Net Media. Back with you from Townsville, 106.3 FM Stadium here in Townsville. 29-25 timeout taken there from Coach Rod Anderson. A good timeout, Dave, as things starting to get a little sloppy for Townsville, both defensively and offensively.
Yeah, I think sloppy is a good word. And again, Mr. Fix-It comes in, Wiltshire.
It's nice to have Wiltshire insert into the game when things are going bad. He's a really steadying force for them, isn't he?
Yeah, it's always concerning because with Townsville's tremendous start and tremendous energy, if they can maintain that for the 40 minutes, Johnny, that's always the key. And I think from based on last week's game, they had a great start and almost blew a 22-point lead
Well,
to just sneak home with the victory.
Weeks just picked up personal, so it's 3 team fouls. Referee's doing a good job tonight letting the teams play, Dave. We asked for it before the game, and they've given it to us. There's another whistle. That's going to be the 4th team foul for Cairns.
White 15. Who's that?
Maybe Damon Heyer. They're going to give it to him. It's his first. 4th team foul, though, so one more. Coach Perlman.
Oh, yeah, blue 14 is what the call was.
All right. Offensive foul there on Matt Reese. That's the 1st team foul on Townsville here in the 2nd quarter. So let's see what's going on here. Referee's coming over to the score bench to check on what was going on there. Not sure if you could read lips, Dave. I'm not very good at it. What is the referee saying down there?
I'm still confused with who the foul was on. I think they've called an offensive on Reese as he set a pick and rolled, but I'm not sure. So I think Coach Anderson has some fair gripes there as to he's a bit confused.
Way has it now. 4 Cairns working against Tudhope. Jump stop. Turnaround, leaves his feet, gets it out to Kwani. He's going to have to get the shot off with too strong. Offensive rebound, though, by Weeks. That was just pure hustle there from Cairns.
Another offensive rebound, too. Better job in the 2nd quarter.
Heyer skips it over to Weeks. He's going to fire the wing 3. It's short. Kwani, offensive rebound, steps around the defense, can't get the layup to fall. And here comes Keegan Tudhope. Gets in the paint, kicks it out. And work it around the perimeter. Wiltshire has it now with 11 on the shot clock. He gets a horn set. Brings it back out, fires a 3-point shot that rolled in and out. Good offensive rebound there by Reese.
Yeah, great job from Reese hitting the glass, getting them an extra possession. Anderson hits the big 3, which is what the Townsville fans love.
Townsville needed that one. They went a bit cold there for a few minutes, Dave. 2.5 to go, they're up 7.
Yeah, just a careless rebounding or lack of rebounding from Damien Heyer. Let Reese get one.
Weeks gets it to Way at the elbow. He's working against Keegan Tudhope. Step back jump shot from Stephen Way is good.
Well, he's been doing that a long time. Sweet looking Jimmy.
He's been battling injuries the last couple of years, Dave. He's a weapon, though. When he's on fire, he's as good as it gets.
Yeah, absolutely. Geez, and, you know, Wiltshire doesn't need much room to get a bucket off, does he?
Well, it was a wrong foot. Kind of little floater there, but he hit it. I don't know if I think Wiltshire could probably drop one in the smallest bucket around at the moment right now.
Yeah. He's another offensive rebound. Wow, Townsville's got to clean that up.
Doing a good job on the glass is Cairns, particularly on the offensive end. Kwani in the corner, step back, three-pointer, rolls in and out. Reese comes down with it, under a minute and a half to go in the half. It's a 7-point lead for Townsville.
Well, a rough start for K squared here in the first half.
Wilcher keeps his dribble alive, finds Tudhope, who lays it in. How good has Keegan Tudhope been in this first half?
Yeah, he's had a good impact for the Heat.
Hire has been kept in check so far in the half. Gets into the paint. Layup is good. That's a tough bucket there from Hire.
Yeah, both teams trading buckets here as it opened up a little bit. 7-point lead for the Heat still. Couple possessions to go in the first half.
There's Wilcher, blocked by Runnels. Nice block there. Baker going to check in, as is Crawford for Townsville. And Tevin Jackson going to check in for Stevie Way. Bit of offense, defense there, Dave, with 45 to go in the half.
Yeah.
We see the big drum at the back. We haven't heard much of that, Dave, unless it's been banging all night and I haven't taken notice.
No, that's done a pretty good job of that. I like the...
Spears going to check in for Anderson. Another offense-defense substitution. Then you see Spears come in. You got to think they're going to be looking for Spears as Wilcher moved to inbounds.
Well, Crawford and Spears both really capable. 3 shooters will go to each of the corners.
Wilcher instead from the corner rolls in and out. Tevin Jackson pulls it down for Kent.
I just don't know how you miss him. How do you leave him open?
Kwani gets it back out. Tevin Jackson with a nice crossover. Floater is good.
Really nice. He's had a few really nice offensive one-on-one moves tonight.
Townsville can hold for the final shot. They're up 5. Wilcher, you got to think this is going to be Wilcher's show to run right here.
And he'll have his shooters in the corner. And Baker just had a nice little middle pick and roll and let him do his thing.
Wilcher doesn't use it, picks up the dribble, finds Baker. He'll fire the wing 3. It's too strong. Weeks comes down with it, does not get the shot off. So heading into the halftime break, Dave, it's a 36-31 lead for Townsville. Pretty good half of basketball from both teams. Ebbs and flows of the game. We saw Townsville get hot, and start off really well. They started to head down while Cairns started to ascend in that second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Coach Anderson, I'm pretty happy with how the first half's gone. Pretty good execution of the game plan, I'm thinking. And then for Coach Perlman, I don't think they've played very well, and I'm only down 2 buckets. So I've got to be pretty happy as well, because there's a whole lot of improvement they need to make in the second half.
I thought in that second quarter, Cairns did a better job controlling the ball, so they cut down on their turnovers there in the second quarter. And I thought they did a better job defensively as well. They were a little more, I don't want to say aggressive, but they were a little more switched on.
Yeah, they definitely got more deflections in that second half. And again, I'd like to see them run out a bit. We talked about, we didn't really talk about the Townsville keys to the game, and that was to limit, one of mine was limit Cairns' transition, but Cairns haven't really transitioned at all. So they need to try and create some more energy and get in easy buckets. You know, K squared's doing it tough a little bit for them, and they just need that second or third option to get them a bit more offensive production, I think.
Yeah, it was a great first half of action, guys. We'll take a break. We'll come back with some halftime statistics. It's 36-31, Townsville leading Cairns at the halftime of your QBL semifinal, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Welcome back to Townsville 106.3 FM Stadium as Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia present to you the QBL semifinal matchup between the Townsville Heat and the Cairns Marlins. It's halftime, Dave. 36-31 the lead for Townsville. Let's take a look at some of the halftime statistics.
Yeah, no surprise there for Josh Wiltshire leading the Townsville scorers with 16, and then a bit of contributions from Anderson with 6 and Baker with 6 as well. And for me, I think that I'd be pretty happy with where they're at. They've held Cairns to 31 points. The offensive rebounding is a bit of a concern, but you can clean that up with a little bit of effort and a little bit of yelling. And so they're going okay. For Cairns have got a bit of work to do as well. A better quarter, 8 of 20 from that quarter. Remember they had a 3 of 11 first quarter, which really hurt them. 8 of 20 for that quarter, so they're creeping up. Interesting stat, they didn't go to the line at all in the second quarter, which is what helped them in the first quarter, which I think they need to do more of. Put the Heat defense under pressure and get some more free throws. Offensive rebounding has kept them in the game. They've got a +3 advantage on the boards against the Heat. Interesting stat, another interesting one for me, Johnny, is only 4 assists for the Marlins. So a team that I believe pride themselves on moving the ball and making buckets. Only 4 assists is a bit of the story as well. They're missing a lot of shots that they normally would hit. So I don't think they should be too upset about it. Keep going through their motions and they'll be okay. So Damon Hires got 7, Stevie Way with 14, and then Weeks and Jackson with 4 each. So other than the Steve Way versus Wiltshire show, it's been a bit quiet from all the other role players so far.
And I think credit to Townsville as well. I think we have to say Jamel Anderson did a great job keeping Damon Hire in check in that first half. He's got the defensive assignment. We know Rod and Greg think Anderson is arguably the best defender in the competition, and he did a great job in the first half, so we got to give him credit where credit's due.
Yeah, only 3 shots for Damo Hire, again averaging 23. So you'd like to see he's going to come out a bit harder in this next half and lead his team.
And what would you like to see from Townsville to kind of get over the line here? They're up 5. They got out to that great start in the first quarter. They need to come out with a bit of better energy in the second half.
Well, they do, and I'd be trying to establish Baker for me, and putting either Crawford and Spears around them on either the strong side, weak side, so that if they try and double, if Baker goes to work, he's got options to open up for some shooting. And then you've got, obviously, Josh at the top of the key who can bail him out if you need to. So I'd just like to establish Baker a bit more in this next little bit. And, you know, like we talked about, protect the paint. Well, the Townsville guys, you know, they need to try and exploit Cairns' size. And I think I'd be trying to ISO Baker a bit and let him go to work.
And for Cairns, what do you got to do to come back and pull out the win to return to the grand final for the second year in a row?
Well, they need more from everyone not named Steve Way. He's been as I would expect, but they need more contributions from their guys. I mean, Weeks has played really well, but only 1 of 6. Looking forward to the second half.
It's going to be a great second half, guys. Don't forget, this game is presented to you by Live Sport Australia. If you haven't done so already, make sure you give us a follow on Facebook and Twitter. We're presenting to you live basketball action all across Australia. We've got Big V basketball, the QBL basketball, some CLB 3-on-3 as well for you coming up soon. But this one is the QBL semifinals, and PC hits a 3-pointer to get things started for Townsville in the second half.
Yeah, good patience from the Heat early on.
Way's jump shot rattles home. Good answer there from Stevie Way. If you give him an open jump shot, it's almost a layup when he's feeling it.
Absolutely. I don't know if he intended on being the Cairns 5-man this season, but that's where he is.
Well, he had those injuries earlier in the season, and Alex Loughton took his spot, and you and I both said it. We like, you know, Loughton is still a great player, especially at the QBL level.
Absolutely.
And he was a difference maker in the early going for Cairns. He would have been a really handy guy to have going into the finals as well. He was tremendous in the grand finals versus Brisbane as well last year.
Yeah, it just helps them with that spacing as they don't give Jackson a great deal of respect from outside the 3.
Good scrambled defense there from Townsville. There's 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. Hire has it guarded by Crawford, leaves his feet, flips one up, it's off, gets his own rebound, putback is good.
Yeah, that's what you want to see for all those Cairns fans. Great take. And Higher, again, only 4 shots already, but he's gone and got a few offensive rebounds. And if the shot isn't going or you're not getting enough shots, go and create some.
How do you do that, Dave? Crashing the glass
Absolutely.
and get into the bucket.
Get deflections, get a steal, play good help defense.
Jamel Anderson going at the defense, finds Crawford. Corner 3 is up. It's another air ball from Peter Crawford. Cairns has an opportunity to cut the lead even further. They're down 4. Way gets it over to Kwani. Corner 3 is short. Wilcher gets the D board.
I don't know, what's he shot for this season, Johnny? Because he's had a rough 0-4 from downtown so far tonight. I know that he's averaged 12 and 6 for them, but I just didn't know his 3-point field goal percentages for the season.
Well, he was a late addition. He came over from the U.S. college system. He's going to be playing with the Marlins in the NBL as Reese gets to the bucket and flips it in. He had a huge game for them last weekend. Kwani had a big double-double, also had 7 assists, so he is a very versatile player. There's Weeks getting to the bucket to lay it in.
Yeah, no help from the Heat. Not a good sign.
Can I just put it out there? Can the Marlins please get Jared Weeks a number 97 away jersey? He's agent 97 for Christ's sake.
Yeah. Good point. Well, here's an easy bucket again.
That screen and roll has really, really hurt.
Well, it's just both ends. I mean, I don't know how you're letting really simple, uncontested layups from both teams.
Kwani has it now. Good no-look pass inside. Tevin Jackson finds Higher open in the corner. Three-pointer is good from Damon Higher.
That is a layup for him from the corner. He shoots I don't know what it is, but it's a damn good clip. I can tell you that after covering him for a couple of years. And he loves those corners. And that was a nice set there by Cairns. That was run for Higher. Higher on the other end, they're going to get called for the defensive foul. Jackson, I think, also on this screen and roll action here, Johnny, I'd like to see Jackson either slipping it harder or really having a nice seal, because he's been open a couple times and they got him on a nice catch, and then he made the extra pass, which is good. Equally, though, Jackson can go get you some easy buckets.
There's Wilcher. Jump shot is good. He hasn't settled down from his hot first half. They increasing the lead to 5 for Townsville. Delay a game warning for Townsville. 6:30 to go in the third. Dave, while we're here, I want to give a shout out to Greg Vanderjack. He's on the bench as the assistant coach tonight, but definitely taking care of us during our time here in Townsville so far today. So thanks, Greg, for looking out for us. I know he won't be happy unless Townsville gets a win this evening, though. No, he will not be happy to deal with after the game if the heat is not up. But absolutely, thank you very much, Greg. And also another local Townsvillian, Paul Foster, saying it out of him. The big guy's been, he was down with the pirate ship for a while there. There's a wild turnover there from Cairns. See Fisher check in for Kwani. Geez, Jackson's had a couple of really careless turnovers. Just took his eye off that one there just for a little second, and it goes out of bounds. Wilcher has it working against Fisher. There's 8 on the shot clock. Baker gets it on the block extended. He'll pull up for the jump shot. That's good from Justin Baker. You can't play off of him, but he'll attack you if you do. Corner 3 for Higher. That's good from the opposite end. He's starting to heat up for Cairns. Not a good sign if you're a Townsville Heat fan. Yeah, and I don't know if you want to dare Baker to shoot the jump shots, because I think he's certainly handy, but if it's that or let someone else other than number 6, I think that's not a bad strategy at the moment. Well, Wilcher there took a little wild one. He missed. Now Cairns has an opportunity to cut into the lead a bit further. They're down 4. 4:45 to go in the third. Skip pass nearly stolen. It's recovered. Higher, wing 3. It's good from Damon Higher. Lead is cut to 1. 3 in a row.
told you to get him the ball. He's doing exactly what they should.
He's looking for a shot.
Threes. Yeah, and he needs to be more aggressive.
There's Baker getting aggressive. The putback is good. Don't know if they're going to give that one to Baker or Reese. Nonetheless, the lead back up to 3. Higher nearly loses it, recovers.
Wow, that was going to be a heat check if he launched that one.
He really wanted that one. He's staying in that corner there. Weeks comes off the screen, attacks, leaves his feet. It's stolen by Wiltshire. He skips ahead to Anderson, recovers and resettles. Wiltshire going to that left hand, flips it up and in.
Well, they got to do something different defensively. I mean, they either want a hard show or trap him and get the ball out of his hands and make someone else do something. It's really...
Hires fouled on his way to the paint. I'm gonna say it was on the floor, I think.
Well, surely he's picked the ball up.
I'm gonna give it to him on the baseline. Get it back to Wiltshire though, Dave. Obviously not the most athletic guy, but he picks the defense apart at will.
Yeah, he's been fantastic, hasn't he?
I mean, is it a change of pace? What do you think he's doing out there to be so effective?
Yeah, I think it certainly is a change of pace. And equally because everyone fears the three-point shot that he has the opportunity.
There's Jackson with an offensive rebound off a higher miss.
They fear the three, so they're backpedaling a little bit. He's got a nice little hesitation.
Bintahal has his pass tipped out of bounds. It's going to stay with Cairns. They've got 2 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Well, it was a really good drive. What Steve Wade needed to do was step in and seal his man. He would have got an easy one. But good energy again. That's what I like from the Fishers and the Bintahals. And Stevie Wade splashes the 4th three of the quarter.
Leads cut to 2, 51-49. Bintahal and Wiltshire getting a bit tangled up there.
Well, Bintahal has done nothing wrong. I like it.
He's just playing defense.
Well, again, they need to do something to get Wiltsh out of his rhythm. He's doing whatever he likes.
Bintahal brings a lot of defensive energy to the floor.
I don't know. This is what I disagree with. The referee's telling Bintahal to calm down. Is he kidding me?
He's just into the game.
And he's asked his captain to go and tell him to calm down. That's crazy. I love what Bintahal just did.
They're going to give a technical foul.
They take them both.
To Bintahal and Josh Wiltshire.
Wow.
Coach Anderson can't believe it. Coach Perlman can't believe it.
QBL semifinals, right, Johnny? I just want to check if I'm at the right location.
You do. You got it. .307 to go in the third. 2-point game. Townsville up on Cairns.
I think this is a really nice couple minutes here. I like the chippiness that's got into the game finally for these two northern rivals.
PC has it with 4 on the shot clock. He goes top of the key 3. It's short. Tipped around. Wiltshire recovers. Layup is good.
Wow, he just wanted it more. He just wanted it more, plain and simple.
I think it was right place, right time. It just fell to him. A couple guys skied above him. It fell into the hands of Josh Wiltshire to give Townsville a 4-point lead. Jump shot by Fisher's off.
He's missed a couple of pretty good looks tonight, unfortunately for the Cairns boys.
There's a pass inside, though. Fisher makes up for it on the other end, getting the deflection. There's Hire going backdoor, reverse layup. That's a tough finish there from Damon Hire.
Well, he's come alive. 14 points for the quarter by my record.
53-51, under 2 to go now in the third quarter. Tudhope pass nearly stolen. He recovers, can't finish, but he's fouled. Keegan Tudhope gonna go to the free throw line for 2 shots. The paint parted like the seas for Keegan Tudhope on that one.
And again, Cairns' size or lack of was always going to be a bit of a concern.
McCauley checks back in.
I wouldn't be leaving Agent 20 on the floor on the bench for too much longer either, Johnny.
I think it's a defensive substitution. They want Bin Tahal on the court to guard Wilcher. Clearly, that's what they're doing. And
yeah.
Bin Tahal's done a good job since he's been on the court defending Wilcher.
Well, I mean, if they're going to go small, excuse me, Fisher can guard Anderson. So, Runnels is the odd man out, of which I'll be playing Agent 20. And I'll be saying, Agent 20, you got 12 more minutes to give me, mate.
Stevie Way working against Keegan Tudhope. Now Bin Tahal has it. Runnels goes
nice
back
play.
door higher. Puts it down with 2 hands. That was easy.
Great play. Gee, Runnels has been good too for them.
He's come on, giving him some pretty solid minutes off the bench. Didn't know, I knew Hire had hops, but that was a nice finish.
Oh yeah, he is a real good athlete. Baker, nice move again. Tudhope doing a good job of just picking up bits and pieces, whatever his team needs.
Wilcher works off the Baker screen. He's going to step back 2 or 3. It's good from Josh Wilcher. You see him getting the crowd into it. He's pumped up. The crowd feeling it as well. 58-53, under a minute to go now in the third.
Every time Cairns has had a good run, Johnny, Townsville's always had an answer.
Higher answers on the other end. Back and forth we go. Who can get more stops when they need them, Dave? That's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, much better. Free-flowing third quarter.
Great pass, Anderson to Baker with a tough finish. He wanted the end one. He's not getting it. Bin Tahal dumps it off for Way. He's double teamed. Now Bin Tahal off the Way screen. To the 2-man game. Skip pass inside for Runnels. He puts it down on the floor, finishes strong. Townsville can hold for the final shot. There's 6 on the game clock. Wilcher, pump fake, 3-pointer is up. It's off the side of the rim. And heading into the final quarter of action, Dave, it's a 3-point game, 60-57. How about that third quarter action, Dave? It was exciting.
Well, Damon Hire, welcome to Townsville. He was hot. And good old Josh continued. Unstoppable.
Wilcher was great as well. It's all set up for a great finish here. We'll take a break. We'll come back with some quarter time statistics. It's 60-57 Townsville over Cairns in your QBL semifinal, presented to you by Live Sport Australia and Nothing But Net Media. One of the greatest quarter-time entertainments I've seen, the good old golf shot there. We had a couple near ones, Dave, but nonetheless, no winners. This one is coming down to the wire as well. The Heat are up 3 at the quarter, Dave. Taking a look at the statistics, what's jumping out at you at the third quarter time break?
Well, we talked about assists and moving the ball. It's amazing what happens when someone makes some shots. 7 assists for the Cairns team as Damien Hire caught fire. 24 points now, 17 in the third quarter, and Fulcher's got 25. So really 2 standouts, Fulcher and Baker, are leading Townsville, and that's kind of it for them. And similarly, it's either Way or Higher for Cairns. So it'll be really interesting to see if those superstars continue, or which role player steps up and makes a big impact.
This game is presented to you guys.
Bucket game.
by Live Sport Australia, Nothing But Net Media. It's all set up for a fantastic finish here, Dave.
Well, we talked about it in the opening, John, where the teams on the plus-minus, offensive, defensively, the stats were literally the exact same. So
that loose ball on the court there. Deflection to start for Townsville as well.
oh,
Dave,
that's what they're doing with, sorry, Johnny.
You go ahead.
I was going to say, that's what, and they want that with McCulley.
There's the backcourt. Hire is going to say that Wiltshire touched it, but referees didn't see it, so turnover to start for Cairns. Really, to me, Dave, it's going to come down to which team can put together consecutive defensive stops. We saw the odd one here and there.
Yeah.
But neither team really able to string together more than one or two.
No, well, the Cairns team won the quarter 26-24, and it was a really entertaining, free-flowing.
Wiltshire's fouled on his three-point attempt by Aaron Bintahal. The last guy you want to send to the bench. Wiltshire, you give him easy points, he's going to take it. I think the stat, Dave, and could be wrong, but I'm sure I heard it on the Long and Short podcast this week. When Wiltshire scores 20, Townsville hasn't lost this season. He's already at 25, so it's got to be a good sign for the Heat.
Certainly a good sign as he goes to the line to shoot three. It's always a fine line, too. I mean, Bintal's been assigned with getting his grill and contest and compete, which he's done a really good job. And those veteran scorers just do enough to make a little bit of contact, or at least make a referee think it was contact.
He's got that odd motion, Wiltshire. It's very smooth, but it's very leggy, I guess, is for lack of a better term.
Well, it works okay, right?
He hasn't missed much tonight. He hit all three to lead 6. Runnels has it top of the key over to Bintahal. Wing 3 is too strong. Offensive rebound, Stevie White.
Well, 11 of 18 for Wiltshire so far, Johnny.
Higher, heat check 3, it's short. That was way deep. Way recovers it, misses. Baker gets the defensive rebound. There goes Wiltshire, nice crossover, finishes with the right hand. Josh Wiltshire, Dave, is having himself a game.
Well, he's put the Ville on his back so far tonight.
Fisher, left-handed flutter is no good. Runnels puts it back with 2 hands. And there's a fast break. Anderson finds McCulley, layup no good, but he's fouled by Damon Hire.
Yeah, good foul. Cairns needs to regroup here. Not the great start to the fourth quarter that they're after.
Tevin Jackson going to check in for Ryan Runnels. As you said, Runnels gave him some nice minutes off the bench, sorry.
Absolutely. I did say I wasn't sure if someone needs to help Wiltshire, Johnny, but maybe not. Maybe he's just got it covered.
Well, he's having himself a game, Dave. Take a, what are we looking at numbers-wise for Wiltshire so far with 8:30 to go in the game?
Well, 12 of 19, 30 points.
Cody Statman, young stud for Cairns, checking in for his first action so far this evening. Interesting time to insert the youngster. 67-59, the 2 free throws from McCulley increase the lead to 8. Hire, left wing 3, that rattles home. Damon Hire. He's keeping Cairns in this one.
I'm not sure where's Weeks, Johnny.
He's sitting right next to the coaches, waiting to come in. Baker double team, finds Tudhope. Anderson recovers out to Wiltshire now.
Good
deep
scramble.
3.
Good scramble from the Marlins. And a good hand from Jackson. Now he should be looking to get the ball. He needs to be a bit more aggressive too. I know he's had a couple of poor turnovers, but he's an interesting player who can actually go to work and go get them some points.
I missed that jump shot there.
I'd like to see him drive. I mean, they haven't had many foul shots from that first quarter. since the first quarter.
Townsville really playing off of Tevin Jackson. They're letting him shoot if he wants to.
Yeah.
Townsville has it in the hands of Wiltshire. Keeps his dribble alive. Anderson clears out, then drives baseline. Layup is good, plus the foul. Damon Heyer can't believe it. He's got to be careful. He nearly going to get teched up here. Coach Perlman going to take a timeout. You see the referee is going to give Coach Perlman a warning there, warning Damon Heyer. Timeout taken though, Dave, so we'll take one as well. 7:11 to go in the final quarter of action. It's a 69-62 lead for Townsville over Cairns. The QBL semifinal presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Welcome back to the QBL semifinals between the Townsville Heat and the Cairns Marlins. It's a 69-62 lead for Townsville over Cairns, Dave. Cairns has to do something to slow down Josh Wiltshire. He is just absolutely shredding them here tonight.
Yeah.
What are some things that you think Cairns can do to disrupt Wiltshire's play?
They just quite simply a hard double team and get the ball out of his hands and then keep it out of his hands. And if he wants to burn a lot of energy trying to get open and run off screens all night long, that's a better strategy for Cairns because they have the good guards who can do that. At the moment, their good guards aren't having any effect, and he's smoking them in a variety of ways.
He's doing it from inside, he's doing it from outside. He's definitely got the jump shot going as well. And Anderson at the free throw line for one. Misses. Way comes down with the rebound.
Good start from Townsville the first couple of minutes too, Johnny. So we'll see how they respond, how Cairns responds to the timeout.
There's Jackson flipping one up, gets the bucket plus the foul.
And that's the answer that we want. You know, you don't want jump shots from him. I got great shooters around me. What I want from him is, again, aggressive moves to the paint, putting the defensive under pressure.
So Jackson going to go to the free throw line for the three-point play opportunity.
He's not in foul trouble, only 2 fouls, but that's better from Jackson. Because equally, Cairns needs some more scoring options. And Weeks checks back in. Still got the youngster.
Statman on there.
Statman in, yeah.
Good opportunity for Statman to play in a pretty big game here for Cairns. His team down 4 with a spot in the grand final on the line. Wiltshire gets wide open for 3. That's too strong. Tipped by Weeks to Jackson.
Yeah, better defensive effort from Cairns then.
Heyer working off the way screen, leaves his feet, finds Statman. He'll put up the three-pointer. It's short. Heyer and Wiltshire fighting for it. Ball goes out of bounds though off of Damon Heyer. It's going to stay with Townsville. 6:25 to go in the game. Dave, what do we got? Have to see if we could get some out-of-town scores. The women's action was looking pretty tight.
Let me do my work, Johnny. Hang on. Ask and you shall receive.
Well, we saw at
Rocky up 3.
On Mackay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mid-second quarter. And Lucas Walker is playing, just to confirm for our listeners, Johnny.
Well, Townsville or Cairns will play the winner of that matchup as PC gets open to lay it in.
And in the women's, 5.5 to go. Spartans up 8 over Gladstone.
A good comeback there from the top seed Spartans. They were tied at the half. Statman, corner 3 is up, and that's good from Cody Statman. How about the young fella getting involved in this big matchup?
And Mackay is up 13 over Logan, Johnny, with 4 minutes to go.
It's hard to call that one an upset because Mackay is as talented as any team. As Crawford fires a three, that's off. Looking so far, at least, like it's going to be a Spartans-Mackay matchup in the grand finals if things hold true. 3 points the lead here for Townsville as Way backs in on Baker. Fadeaway jump shot is good from Stevie Way.
Textbook.
1 point lead now for Townsville.
I like it. I like it, Johnny. You just called it off there. Overtime. Is that what you want to see?
I'm not saying I want to see it. It just has that feeling to it. Wiltshire, not sure. I think he might have a bit of blood.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to come off the court. And Coach Anderson going to take a timeout. It's a good time to take one with Wiltshire coming off the floor. Dave, let's keep things here, though. About 5:10 to go in the game. Setting up for an exciting finish, isn't it?
Certainly is. And, you know, like the other game, where Mackay's having a little bit, Rocky, he's got the small lead. You know, these last 4 teams that are remaining, any of them can win on any given night, which has been a terrific QBL season this year, again.
It's been a fantastic season, no doubt about it. And Dave, we said anyone really 1 through 8 could win it all.
Yeah.
This game, though, must be eerily reminiscent of last weekend's game for Townsville, where they had that huge lead over Southwest. Southwest came all the way back to tie it up with 90 seconds to go. This one, there's a little bit more time in this one, so you gotta wonder, nerves playing into the hands here of Townsville.
Well, there was a good timeout from Coach Anderson. I think he just wanted to milk the blood injury cleanup for Wiltshire, which means he may only miss about a possession. And to be honest, that's probably the best time out of the game because they need him.
They certainly do need him. He's been absolutely tremendous. He's taped up. You can see the blood was at the knees there. Must have been, well, we've seen Wiltshire get down and dirty a couple times tonight, but he's back on the court. So like you say, Dave, great time out there for Townsville. Townsville going to inbound out off the sideline. We got 5 to go, and it's a 1-point game in the QBL semifinals, Dave. Doesn't get better than this. Crawford takes a few steps, finds Tudhope. Bank shot is off, tipped around. Crawford loses it to Jackson.
Now that's a nice gritty possession. Just what the Cairns Marlins are after, down 1.
Statman playing some big minutes here in an important time for the Marlins. Airs higher, stops, pops. Jump shot is short though. How important, that all-important bucket to just get you in the lead, Dave.
Well, they haven't led, wow.
Nearly a turnover there, a lot of miscommunication on the floor.
Absolutely, it should have been a turnover, complete carry.
Crawford with 3 on the shot clock, puts up a deep 3, it's short. Townsville looks a little lost offensively, and then Wiltshire gets called for the reach-in foul. A lot of chatter on the Townsville bench.
It'll be really interesting here, Johnny, too, if Cairns can make a bucket and just get in a lead and what that might do for the Townsville psyche.
Let's see. You got to expect it to at least go through the hands of Damon Heyer. He's really kept Cairns in this game. He's double teamed on the baseline. That's good defense, but they're going to call a foul.
Yeah, it was a foul. They were all over him. That's a foul.
That foul's going to go on Baker. Dave, I have to say I didn't like that one.
No, no. Foul. They had 2 guys giving him, I know they're cousins and all on the north. It was a bit of a cuddle.
He was in a lot of trouble there.
He was in a lot of trouble. I'm not denying he was in a lot of trouble.
He was in a really bad spot. He tried to split the D. Both guys thought had a hand on the ball. The contact was afterwards, though. Weeks finds Heyer. It's stripped and knocked out of bounds.
Well, if the cuddle foul was no good, That was the miss of the game from the referees.
Here comes
There you
Weeks.
go.
That's going to go on Anderson.
We talked a little bit about it, Johnny. Townsville looks like they're losing their cool a little bit here.
They certainly do, Dave. A lot of chat back to the referees. A lot of chats back and forth between teammates as well.
I'd be looking at getting something to the rim.
There's higher baseline jump shot, too strong, and Tudhope pulls down the rebound.
And they're going still with Statman, which is really interesting.
He's done a good job.
He has done a good job. K squared hasn't been given an opportunity to redeem himself so far.
Baker, hook shot is too strong. Kevin Jackson gets the defensive rebound. Dave.
Well, we've hung on this 71-70 for a while here, Johnny. The pressure's building.
That was a good look. Weeks steps back, working on Tudhope.
Oh.
Loses him. Wing three is up. It's good from Jared Weeks.
There you go. There's the lead for the first time. Cairns bench is pumped.
2 points the deficit now for Townsville.
Townsville crowd looks a little nervous.
Again, the Townsville getting it over to Wiltshire. He's been quiet. They go inside. Baker, good catch and finish.
Great
Ties
pass.
the game at 73.
Yeah, great pass. Geez, I don't know how they lost sight of Baker.
It's just a great vision there from Wiltshire.
Yeah, really impressive game where he doesn't have to shoot the ball. He's still making the right play.
Statman nearly lost it. It wound up with Weeks. 6 on the shot clock. Weeks, good hesitation dribble. Finds Statman. Corner three is up. It's big bucket from Cody Statman. The lead is 3 for Cairns. We're under 2:20 now in the game.
Well, he's not afraid of the big moment. You got to love that from the young fella.
Wiltshire finds Anderson. His corner three is up. It's good, plus the foul. Huge bucket there for Jamel Anderson. The Townsville bench and crowd loves it. And Anderson going to go to the line for a 4-point play opportunity. The Townsville bench is saying that Statman 3 was a 2.
Yeah, huge bucket from Anderson, ties the game.
Referees are just going to verify that one.
It was a 3, right? It was a 3.
Anderson's was a 3. And they're checking to make sure that the Statman 3, Rod Anderson's claiming it was a 2-pointer. The referees converged and said it was a 3, so we are not at 76.
Yeah, right. It's the
with
right
Jamel
score.
Anderson
It's
at the
right.
line, an opportunity to increase the lead by 1. And he hits it.
Good answer from Anderson. I really needed that one.
That was the first one all night. He shot with confidence, and it went in. We're under 2 to go. 1-point game. Weeks. Hands off for Way. Swatted by Baker. What a swat there by Justin Baker, giving him the Mutombo finger wave.
Well, certainly good defensive effort. Great pass from Weeks. Just
Baker.
a better job defensively.
Let's see if Townsville can get up. Crawford's 3 is short. Wiltshire, though, gets the long rebound. And smart play brings it out to work some more clock with his team up 1. There's that double team. Wiltshire has to keep his dribble alive. Gets it back from Tudhope. They got to get a shot off. Anderson doesn't get it off in time. That's a shot clock violation.
It's going to stay up there. The ball's going to stay up there.
It's on top of the basket. I don't even think Jared Weeks could get up there. I don't know how they're going to get that one off.
Maybe he could.
There we go. Haven't seen that happen before, have you?
Never.
That's unbelievable. Townsville, though, this is a huge defensive set here for Townsville. They're up 1, 1:20 to go in the game.
Well, Baker's communicating defensively what they're after.
Stevie Way gets open, picks up his dribble, though. Now 8 on the shot clock for Weeks, going against Baker. Step back 3 is up. It's short. Rebound Tudhope. We're under a minute to go.
Well, good look. Really good look from Weeks.
Anderson has it.
Hasn't shot the ball tremendously tonight, but again, a really good look.
Baker working one-on-one with Way, goes baseline. Hook shot is up, and that's a huge bucket there from Justin Baker, increasing the lead to 3. And Coach Jamie Perlman has to take a timeout. His team's down 3, Dave, with 36 seconds to go in the game. Huge bucket there from Justin Baker. The hook shot failed him a few times. He stuck with it and hit the big one.
Yeah, we talked about it. We said get Baker going, isolate him on the block, and really Cairns can't do a great deal more than that. I thought Wade did a pretty good job defensively. They still got to stay home on the Crawfords and the Anderson, who just hit an and 1 3-pointer. So they've kind of had to stay home and try and defend him honestly. But it's a one-possession game.
Still about 40 seconds to go.
Stay calm.
You don't need a 3 at this point, but do you take it if it's given to you?
Absolutely. I think Cairns just need to run their normal stuff. I'd probably look to get something either Weeks creating off an on-ball and then looking at getting my shooters in the corner. Stevie Way hasn't had a touch for a while as well, so nothing to be too alarmed with.
How about that Damon Hire high ball screen with Stevie Way rolling to the basket?
Well,
popping.
I think he's their best shooter at the moment, so I think I'd be putting him in that shooting spot and letting Weeks create.
See who Coach Perlman comes out with. You've got Way, Hire, Statman, Weeks, and Jackson. Townsville answers with Anderson, Wiltshire, Baker, Crawford, and Tudhope. 79-76 the lead. Under just about 40 seconds to go in the game. There's a good give and go. Hire loses it. They're going to call it travel. Justin Baker held his ground and forced the turnover. Coach Perlman wants a timeout. He wasn't happy with the defense. He wanted to set the defense. He's going to call the timeout. Good timeout, Dave. They don't have to foul. If they do foul, they've got 4 team fouls. It'll send Townsville to the line. He's got to set his defense here and make sure they don't foul on any shot.
And he doesn't have a timeout left, so kind of a little risky.
Both teams with 4 team fouls. Just about 36 seconds to go in the game. I was watching Coach Perlman the whole time. He was trying to call the defense. He wanted to pull them off the pressure. He called the timeout. That's just a veteran play.
Yeah.
Although it could hurt him in this tight matchup.
Well, let's just say they get a stop. They've still got 12 seconds-ish, minimum 12, in order to get a good look. And again, they'll know out of bounds, or they'll know what their late special situations plays are going to be. So, they're going to have. I'm confident they'll have an opportunity to get a bucket. It's whether or not they hit it or not is the key.
So if you're in the Cairns huddle, you're setting the defense and drawing up what you're going to run?
Yeah, they'll have a set up their sleeve that they're going to run, and they've practiced for in this situation. But equally, if Townsville can get a key bucket here, it could be Townsville progressing to the GF.
Well, they're up 3, 36 seconds to go in the game. Townsville has a toe in that grand final, but it's far from over. It's probably their pinky toe.
I think it's a. They got it. I don't know. They got a toe. You're right. But again, I'd be trying to get rid of. There you go. That's the turnover you wanted.
Not what you wanted if you're Townsville. Here comes Cairns. They've got to get a good shot here. It doesn't have to be 3, though, Dave. Hire wants to clear out one-on-one with Baker.
I think he wants the 3, though.
He wants him to go. There's Hire's three-pointer. It's an air ball. No foul called. A lot of contact. Coach Perlman wasn't happy. He wanted his team to pick it up. Air ball goes out of bounds. It looks like it's staying with Cairns.
So, are they saying there was a block, Johnny? It has to be, right? I mean, Cairns got the ball.
Well, if it's with Cairns, it has to have been blocked somewhere along the line.
I think there was a lot of arm, not much ball, but.
Are you surprised he wanted the three-pointer there?
No, I could tell he wanted the 3 because the clock was down to 10. He spaced it out.
Surely you got to go. Surely you got to go for the quick 2 here, Dave, and a quick foul. That's going to send any fouls for either team is going to send them each to the free throw line.
Well, they've only got 6 seconds, so it is going to be a relatively quick hit, like this one.
Way, pump fake. He's open for 3. It's up. It's too strong. Offensive rebound. Statman blocked by Anderson, but he's fouled. Gonna send Cody Statman to the free throw line for 2 shots with about 9 seconds to go in the game. And that's Jamel Anderson's 5th personal, so he's done for the night. Who do you put in if you're Coach Anderson?
I think they're probably going to go with Spears in that similar spot.
Big spot here for young Cody Statman, and there is Spears checking into the game. (79-76) the lead.
Well,
Cody Statman at the free throw line for 2 shots.
Townsville must box out.
Statman missed the first. Do you miss the second here, Dave, or you have to make it?
Everyone's got a philosophy. I think you just got to get it in, and now send him to the line.
Another timeout, Dave. We're not going anywhere. Let's keep it here. It's a 2-point game, 8.8 seconds to go. Tough spot for young Cody Statman. You got to love the faith Coach Perlman puts into the young fella, having him in at this point of the game. He is a threat, though, offensively. I can understand why they have him in there.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see if they put someone like Bintal back in, or Fisher, for this last defensive set, because all they're going to do is foul. Or at the same time, they put it into Wiltshire a minute ago and he turned it over off a hard double. So I'd be trying to do the same again. You got to allow, I think you got to go for a quick hard double, everyone in lanes, try and get a quick turnover in the next few seconds, then you got to quickly foul.
You also have to be careful for the professional foul as well. We know that they've put a real emphasis on making those calls. Hopefully the referees recognize the situation that they're in and understand that it's a 2-point game with 8 seconds to go and a grand final spot on the line.
Yeah.
So let's make sure, let's keep a close eye on the action off the ball as well.
And then Cairns have got no timeouts left. So whatever they do off this, when they foul, you want to try and it's a pretty solid free throw lining group too that the Heat have rolled out. So any of them are certainly all solid. You'd probably try and get Spears off the foul, let him get a catch. He's just checked in as the coldest guy.
Tudhup's going to inbounds. He's looking for Crawford. He gets it to Crawford. Offensive foul on Peter Crawford. That's the 5th team foul. Is that going to send the Weeks to the free throw line for 2 shots to tie the game? I don't know what the referees are discussing.
Well,
but
it was before the play was inbounded too, so.
It's going to be a sideline out of bounds. They're going to say, so Crawford got called for a push-off.
Johnny, interesting to see if they go for the all or nothing play.
Well, there's 8.2 seconds to go. It's a 2-point lead. Cairns has plenty time.
Well, Perlman's questioning, I think he's valid. The ball hadn't been inbounded.
It's a good question. I thought it was free throws, Dave. If it happens before the inbounds.
That's where we need Regan. We need Regan.
Where's Regan when we need him? Well, here we go. This is it. Weeks has it for Cairns. Gets into the paint, kicks it out. Jackson over to Statman. 3-pointer up. It's off the side of the rim. And the Townsville Heat are going to the grand finals. Cody Statman got a great look. But Townsville books a spot in the grand finals next weekend. And the Townsville faithful are going nuts. I thought Jackson was going to take the 3, kicked it out to Statman. That was a great opportunity for Jackson. An even better look for Statman. They got a good shot. A lot of faith in the young fella. He just couldn't come through at the end, but shot it with confidence. You got to love that for the young man.
Yeah, and they did a really good job. Townsville of defending higher, so they didn't have that option, which was their preferred go-to. But again, big look. It actually looked really good off the hand. I thought it was good. It was going down.
I thought it was going down too, but nonetheless, the Townsville Heat have booked their spot in the grand final. It's yet to be seen who they're going to be playing against. We'll take a look at the score between Mackay and Rockhampton. have a quick look at that. It's 47-43 at the half for Mackay over Rockhampton. Townsville books their spot in the grand final. What a game, Dave. What a finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Tremendous game. And, you know, good adversity from both teams with the refereeing. You know, some big calls, no calls, great calls, bad calls, all the above. Did a great job. You know, Perlman's talking to his boys and saying, pretty good job, boys. Again, they were a bit light on size-wise. You know, losing the Triggers and the Loutons as the season wore on. Went pretty well.
Well, congratulations to the Townsville Heat. They get the big win, 79-77 over their arch rival, the Cairns Marlins. What a game that was, Dave. We got the statistics in our hand. Let's go through the final stats before we wrap things up.
Yeah, Wiltshire finished with 30 points. Baker, 16. Anderson, 12. Matt Reese with 6. PC with 7. And Tudorhope did a good job as well with 6 points. You know, overall they shot 50% from the floor, which was a great effort from the Heat. A few too many turnovers in that second half, but they did enough to hold on. And for the Marlins, so we'll be seeing the Heat next weekend. Whether we're in Rocky or Mackay is the question. But for the Cairns, their season's come to an end, and a hire after a quiet start was tremendous, as was Stevie Way. Weeks finished with 9, Tevin Jackson with 7, Ryan Runnels with 4, and Cody Statman played really good minutes. It was a great sign for the future of Cairns, and he chipped in with 7 points as well. So
it was an excellent game all around, Dave. Townsville got up fairly big. Cairns righted the ship, got themselves back into it, had a couple of great opportunities to either tie it or take or really win it, but nonetheless, Townsville just had enough left in the tank to get over the line. They're going to book their spot in the grand final, and it looks like at the moment at the half, like I said, it's 47-43. Possibility we could be back in Townsville next week. It's only a 4-point game down in Mackay.
yeah, absolutely.
And let's just take a quick look, because I think the women's grand final is locked. Mackay goes into Logan and gets the 80-67 win over the Logan Thunder. And Mackay will take on the Brisbane Spartans. Tied at the half, they stormed away with the win in the second half. It's a final 89-67 between the Spartans and Port City Power. So Brisbane will take on the Mackay Meteorettes in the women's grand final. Townsville has booked their spot in the men's grand final. Who they're going to face, we're yet to find out. Dave, your final thoughts before we wrap things up for good.
Well, great win from the Heat. Tremendous win to get back into the grand final series, where anyone's a show. And my only comment is they'll need a bit more help than hoping Wiltshire can get me 30 points a game in the best of 3 series. So they really will have to have you know, more of that combined offensive output for me if they're going to take it from either Rocky or Mackay.
I can't agree with that more. Wiltshire was phenomenal. It was a great game. I got to thank Chris Sieber on the camera. I want to thank James Bowman from the Australian Sports Network for all the graphics that you have seen throughout our coverage of the QBL this season. For my broadcast partner, Dave Derwin, I'm John Guarna. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And don't forget, we will have each and every game of both Grand Final Series for you live on the Basketball Queensland YouTube channel, presented to you by Live Sport Australia and Nothing But Net Media. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you again next week.